Hello, Mario! In this video, I'm going to take a look at how to draw a finder diagram using CAD. So I'm hoping that you've got a few measurements and things out in the field, possibly a diagram and possibly a photograph. And we're going to put that all together into a nice professional looking finder diagram, so that when someone picks up your report with your finder diagrams in it, they will be able to find your marks. So the first thing I've done is I've set up in the course Moodle site a maurieos WINTEC finder diagram template. Now this has got a lot of stuff embedded in it that's going to make the drawing of it quite easy. So you'll find it under the assessment key, and here it is here. And so I'm just going to click on that, and I'm going to save it. Save as, and you can save it anywhere you like, but I'm going to save it, in this case here, I'm going to save it just to the desktop. It is important that you save it, and it's called WINTEC Finder A4.dwt, and the DWT is very important. So I'm just going to save that to the desktop. You could save it to your flash drive, to the desktop, or to whatever you have available, but it does need to be saved pretty handily there. Okay, and I'm going to minimize that, and there it is there on the on there. So wherever you've got it there, if you have AutoCAD on your actual computer, you'll find that if you open it and then save it, it'll save to a specific AutoCAD area, so that every time you ask for a template, it's available. But not everyone's working that way. So what I'm going to do now is just to click on and open that file, and that should open in AutoCAD. Here it is opening up now, and remember that it's a DWT file, but the file that you're creating, and you don't want to overwrite that file because that's got all the base knowledge in it and things like that. So for that there, just ignore the missing Shix file. That's something that I might sort out one day. And so here it should come open now, and you'll see that it opens up as drawing1.drawing, even though you opened and you've got to go through that again, even though you opened a DWT file, it's opened up as a drawing file. And what you'll see is you'll get something like this here, which is in this, what we call a tab here. Okay, so there's the tab here. Now at this point, what I'm going to do is just show you what the finder diagram is going to look like. So that's just the startup thing. So I have the finder diagram here. So here's my little finder diagram, and it's for PEG-NL, which is one that you should all be very familiar with. And I've just drawn it in there, and I've drawn it to scale, which we can do because we know the bearings and distances of these various little pegs through here. You'll notice I haven't shown the bearings, I've just shown the distances, because anyone walking out onto this job would just have a tape measure and they can measure off these posts, which you all have this information on the site plan, and you could draw up as a finder diagram. It's just one diagram for one mark. So we've got here a bit of an idea of what the site looks like. The car park here, stormwater pond in here, vehicle entrance, I've called it in there, where we drive along between the buildings, concrete curb and channel, and things like that. Just all of the key, easily recognised points when you go out there. And I've also managed, I've got a little photograph down here, and you can see that it's the actual mark is marked there with a stake with a high-vis jacket hanging on it, so we can just see, you know, what the mark looks like. So that's our goal. That's what we're going to draw for this particular one. And so let's just, I'm just going to put that on my second screen. So I've got it available there, but it's not in here, and here's what I'm going to do in here. Now the thing to note with AutoCAD is it has what we call paper space and model space. Now paper space here is just a bit of paper, so it's just as if you printed out that, what you see there, that template there, which is an A4, if you just print it out and anything you drew on that would be in what we call paper space. However, we have this model space which looks through paper space into what we call model space. And in model space, everything is done at the real world scale, at 1:1. So you don't have any scale issues or anything there, you just draw at 1:1. And so that's model space through paper space, and we also have just model space here on its own, which typically has this black background. So let's get underway with our finder diagram. Now the other thing that I'm going to do is to get a hold of this here, which is, that's just the site photograph. That's the AutoCAD plan there of the site boundaries and things. Now I'm going to have that available because in here is, just in this little piece in here, is some bearings and distances for these posts, which I'll refer to part of the drawing. And once again, I'm going to just drop that over onto my second screen so I can see it on my second screen. You might have a split screen or something like that. So let's see if we can get things drawn. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I've got a few, you'll see that I've got a few layers set up in here. So we're in model space here, and we're in the home tab, and I'm just going to have a look and see what my, oh, there's nothing actually there, so something's going a little bit funny here, unsaved. So what I'm going to do, so that I'm just going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to I'll save it on the desktop in this case here, but you could save it to your flash drive or wherever you want to go. So I'm just going to save it on my desktop here just as an example, and I'm going to call that PEG, I'll just call it Finder Diagrams, because as you'll see, we can do all of the Finder Diagrams on the one plan if we wish. So I'm just going to call it Finder Diagrams, and I'm just going to save that there. And what I'm going to do is this one here, I'm going to right click in there and rename that, and I'm just going to call that PEG NL for that peg there. Okay, so let's get started. Right, like so. So now let's just see how we go with layers here. Doesn't seem to be too many layers in here. I thought I had the layers perhaps in my model. No, so we don't. So okay, so let's first of all, I'm going to create a layer called Survey Marks, and that's where I'm going to put all my survey marks. So I'll just go up to here, to Home. Oh, what I've done here is I have actually opened the wrong version of AutoCAD. I've opened here 2014, and I've actually got this in 2016. So I'm going to just close this one down here and just close. No, I don't want to save anything at this point in time, and I'm going to go back to here, and I'm just going to go over to here and this is sort of, it's quite fortuitous that I did this, because on you'll have many options for AutoCAD, and you can see that I've come up with AutoCAD 2016 English, and that's the one that we should be using, like so, and that's it leading in there. And I'm going to start a drawing, and it says ignore the missing Shix files like that, and I'm going to make that full there, and I've actually got my template there, the A4 Finder Diagram template, and now I've got some various layers and things there now. So that's a little bit better, and that's 2016 English student version, and you might find that it has mechanical at the end of it. So be very careful using the WINTEC computers that you open the right version of AutoCAD that aligns with what I've got here. So here it is here. Now we're going to make sure we're in model space, and that it's in paper. So that's model space. It's got the dark outline around here. So what I'm going to do is I've put in some blocks, insert, and I'm just going to put in a double circle, which is my go-to mark for what I call a control point, which is what peg NL is. And there you are, that's it in there. And just going down here, the scale that I'm going to be, I'll just unlock that scale there, and I'm going to do this at a scale of 1 to 200, which is 5 to 1. Oh, and it's not in there for some reason. So I'm going to do it at a scale of 1 to 200. So I'm going to have to do a custom scale, and that's, see if we've got 4 to 1. Well, this is 5 to 1, so we'll add, and it's going to be 5 to 1, and I'm going to call that 1 to 200 in a meter, in meters. The reason for that is that I've set the units to meters, which introduces a 1 to 1,000 concept into it, so that 1 to 1 is 1 meter, or 1 millimeter equals 1 meter, which is 1,000 millimeters. So that's going to go there like that, and then we're going to move it down so that it's in its little place here, 5 to 1, move up and put it there. Okay, and then I'm going to unlock here. This is important that you unlock, and we're going to put that in there like so, and I'm going to select that as my scale, there like so, and there it is. Select that as my scale, but unfortunately there's my point there. I've had to move my point to there, and just click out of the pan, and we'll just lock that up there for now. So that's, oh, that's not our scale. Unlock, and make sure we've got that 5 to 1 scale there. Okay, so that keeps everything at 1 to 200. You can have a variety of scales, but I know that for this diagram that works, and we're going to lock it up. Okay, so there we go there. So that's going to be peg NL. So let's put in post 1. And I'm going to put that into the right layer. So first of all, let's go home here, and we'll grab that there, and I'm going to put that into the, this layer here. I'm going to create a new layer, and I'm going to call that layer, and it's popping up over here. I just clicked there. Oh, I'm just grabbing it on my second screen. So this is layers here, and I'm going to create a new layer, right click, new layer, and I'm going to call that survey marks. Okay, I'll do that in caps. Okay, so that'll be survey marks, and I'll also create a new layer, radiations. So these are the lines out from the survey marks. Now the radiations, the survey marks will be in continuous, and the radiations, I'm going to do those in a line type that I've fed in, and it should be in there, called Traverse, which is a dotted line type, and we'll have a look at that a little bit later on. I will just go there, and let's just go okay there for now. And we want to make the turn the radiations layer off, because I'm going to do some radiations first. So let's go to post 1, and we'll just draw a line out from there like so, and it's going to start there. Now we see how you've got the object snaps on there, so it's snapping into the center of the mark, and there's my little dotted line. Now what I go to do is shift chevron, and then I type in the bearing, which is 76 degrees 13 minutes 30, and go enter, and you'll see how angle override comes up there, and then I can put in the distance, which is 8.786. That's the distance from the control plane, and that there, that's going to be to post 1. I'll just put these in. I'll do them all because that'll be a bit easier. Now to post 2, and that is shift chevron 38 degrees 27 minutes and 40 seconds, and just make sure you get the angle override there, and then put in the distance 3.668. okay, alright, and then we're going to do 1, 2, repeat line, and that's going from there. They're all radiating out from this point here, and I've just got to do a slight adjustment over here, and then click back into here. 350 degrees, oh, forgot my chevron. 350 degrees 12 minutes 30, like so, and enter. Angle override, put in my distance, which is 3.296, and these are from the control plan that I've already given you. And then finally to post 3, which is, we can just right click, repeat line, or we can select line up there, into there, snapping to there, and that is shift chevron 196 D for degrees, 196 degrees 18 minutes 30 seconds, enter. Got the angle override going there, and that's 15.175. so they're the 3 things there. Now what I'll do is they're all in the radiations layer. In the survey marks layer, I'm just going to insert the post symbol, which is this one here, post, and I'm just going to go pop it there at the, make sure it goes on the end point, which is the little green square. Repeat insert, insert post, little green symbol, repeat insert, post, enter. So, oops, no, I didn't like that. Repeat, insert, post, which is down the bottom there, and then we'll just put it there. Oh, it's wanting scale factor 1, rotation 0, like so. And then we've got one more to go here. It's probably easier just to go insert, 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 post. You can actually copy them as well, and that's gone there. So there now we have our posts, and you'll notice that these here are underneath. So what I want to do is just select all those, because I've got what we call a wipeout acting in here. Select all those, right click, draw order, send to the back, and they'll go under the white here. So everything's looking there like so. These are traverse lines here. I might just make them a little bit more pet, which can be the line type scale there. So just go 2. Oh no, that's too much. So I might go 0.5. Yeah, and that makes them a little bit more dottery, if that's what you want. Now the next thing I'm going to do is just getting up to 20 minutes, so I'm probably just going to stop here, but what I will do is put in I'll leave that for the next video. So I'll stop there. What we've got in there is just a start with the points and everything in it. So this will be Finder Diagram video 1. So let's just stop there and see if we can, and we'll come back for another video. Cheers! See you!